We have our next speaker here, and she is amazing. She is speaking for Recovery Behind the Walls. I absolutely love Consuela. So, Consuela, can you unmute yourself?
Okay, there it is.
There it is.
Hey, Connie.
Hey, Mama.
Hey,
My girl right there.
yes, how everybody doing?
And you have an hour, Consuela. If you can't speak for an hour, just open it up for this questions and comments and discussion. Okay.
Okay.
You have up to an hour.
You know, John, Mr. James was talking about me and talking about something she can go. So I'm gonna try to fill them shoes up. And as you know, I love to get in there. So thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank you, Trail Hope, you know, for asking me to come and share my experience, strength, and hope from behind the walls. I like to thank Bunny and Latanya and Mr. James and his house. This like my Montgomery County family, you know what I'm saying? Y'all always been there for me, always had my back, you know, no matter what. And been a very important part of my journey. You know, I guess I'm gonna start off by talking about Recovery Behind the Wall, you know, how it really started for me. When I was held, you know, on false accusations, Mr. James knew I was gonna go there. You know I did what the hell people say I did. But when I was held and I first was arrested in Baltimore City, I'm from Baltimore, and but I've really never been in Baltimore City jail because I come over to Montgomery County, PG County, you know, to do crimes. So this particular day, when I had my spiritual awakening, I was in Baltimore City, the police pulled me over and I had warrants in every jurisdiction. So I had to be held over in Baltimore City jail. And baby, Baltimore City jail, that thing ain't fit for nothing. I mean, it was complete. Every time I think about, you know, having to, you know, go through that process. But, you know, that's where it started at for me. And early on, let me just put this out there as well. I was on the run for a while and I brought some fentanyl patches, right? And I put one in my glove department in the car and I put one in my house at the front door. So I'm like, so when the police come kick the door down, you know, bam, I'm grab the patch. You know, they pull me over, I'm gonna grab the patch. So that's just what I did. They pulled me over, told the guy beside me, I said, I'm going to jail. So I'm putting the patch on and he was like, man, you tripping. I'm like, no, I'm going to jail, trust me. Because I had all these warrants. I had like 5 warrants, you know. So I put the patch on and I've never used fentanyl before. And I just knew that they said it would help you with your illness or you could, you know, get high off of it. So I put it on to help me with my illness because at that time I was sniffing like maybe about $100, $150 a day of dope. So I put the patch on, get down to the bookings, do my process, and as I'm standing in line, the police like, you know, I got my arms behind my back and I'm like, I'm going out. That's what I was doing. I was ODing, I was going out and I couldn't, you know, I'm slurring my words and I'm telling them like this patch. And he thought it was a nigga patch. So he just like flicked it off my leg and I'm standing in the door. He like holding me up in the door. So when I finally get inside the door, the nurse is there. She like, what's wrong with her? I was sweating. So, I mean, my complete shirt was completely wet. And I just laid on the counter and she put a fan on me. She said she probably, you know, going through some anxiety. She's getting arrested. And she gave me a bottle of water. So I'm laying there, but the whole time, I'm not knowing, I'm ODing. That's what was happening. I was going out. And by the grace of God, you know, he got that patch off me. So, and I had it on like some tape because it was in the summertime. I had some tape on my leg holding it up there. So time I made it in there and came through and I seen it stuck on the wall, you know, Dauphin County kicked in. I said, wait a minute now. I said, you know, I'm back now that, you know, I don't want to get over here and get ill. So sure enough, I go take it, snap it off the wall and put it right back on my leg and made it through the process, got all the way upstairs, through the whole, because I stayed at city jail for 7 days. And I'm over there with this patch on, and I told the nurse before I got there that, you know, I'm gonna get sick, you know, so if you can, you know, put me in a detox unit. So I go to the detox unit and they will give you like little pills. I don't know what them pills were, but I would stick them in my pocket because that unit that I was on, everybody was sick. And when I say sick, throwing up from the front to the back, bags, it was smelling, oh my God, it was horrible. And the pills I would keep in my pocket, so when I see them girls like really going through it, right, I slide them the pills, and they were like, what, you know, what is you even doing over here, right? And I was like, I'm kicking like everybody else. And they were like, no, you ain't kicking, you know, we've been watching you, you know, so you ain't kicking. I said, yes, I am. So I was like, well, I think I'll probably get a little help, you know, because of this patch. And they was like, boom, they jumped over. They were like, where you get that from? And, you know, see this right here, you get half this. And at that point, I had it on for like 5 days, but I was so scared to take it off because I thought I was going to divert. I said, if I take this patch off, I'm going to straight get ill. And, you know, so I kept it on, and I kept guard on it too. You know, I kept watching it, you know, day and night, because, you know, they try to creep you, you know what I'm saying? But that started my journey off. So I'm detoxing, and then right after the holiday, they called me. It was Memorial Day. They called me and they were like, PG County, you know, here to get you, right? So, you know, PG County at that time, it was like going to the Ritz-Carlton, right? I was like, yes, you know, I'm out of this place, because I heard that man talking about that cussing. Okay, so I get on the ride, you know what I'm saying? And I go head on over there, and when I got there, I lock in, I get in the cell after I go through the process and everything, I lock in the cell. Now, this was 2014, right? I was just there in 2012. Same cell, okay? So I'm in this cell again, the same corporates. You know how you got the with the frequent flyers that's always in jail, you know, the usuals was all there and everything. And I said, damn, I'm starting to feel like a usual, you know what I'm saying? People, that's Connie. I'm like, hey, and I'm like, wait, this shit ain't cool, you know what I'm saying? Staff know you and everything. So I lock in that cell, and we had a lot of MSC. MSC is like 30, 22 and 3. No, 23 and 1. That means you lock down all day and you get out for that 1 hour. And during that time, right, I'm locked in, and I got to thinking, right, like, damn, yo, you back again. You know what I'm saying? At this point, you know, things have really changed for me, because now I got kids, right? I got a set of twins, and at that time, my twins were about 6, going on 7, and I got these little tots, you know what I'm saying? When I went to jail before, and did the 6 months over there, you know, I didn't have any kids. Things had changed for me. And I'm sitting in this cell, and I'm like, damn, yo, again. And I'm like, are you just in jail, you know, because you a common crook? Or are you in here because you do everything you can do to get one more? And I thought about it, and I said, I'm gonna pray on it. And I said, well, you know, I don't know, let me see what's up with this. So I just sat there, and I just kept thinking, and I just kept praying, asking God, like, you know, you help me, you know, this time. And I don't know if I was like really sincere, because, you know, I was, you know, it was fresh. I'm just getting there. I wanted to get out, you know. Yes, I had wants in everybody's jurisdiction, but I really wanted to get out, you know, so I could use again. In my mind, I'm like, okay, if I get out, you know, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. But again, you know, if you don't address the problem, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna address you. So I stayed and I listened, right? And soon as I was able to get off lock, they started calling for NA. Now I have been in NA, I've been to a few meetings, right? But I really didn't think they was talking about me, right? I'm like, man, I ain't no dope fiend. I just get high every day because that's how the hell I get down, is what I do. And I really never, I couldn't compare in, I compared out. I really didn't think that NA had anything for me for real. But at that point, I said, well, I can get out myself. Let me go down here and see what the people talking about. So when I got in the meeting, the lady that was coming bringing the meeting in, I had knew her because we had just came from a convention or something together, like not too long ago. And she was like, damn, Connie, like what you doing? And she said, well, I'm gonna call and let everybody know, you here. And I'm like, all right. She be like, we're gonna support you. And sure enough, they was coming for every, NA meeting and everything. And I was really starting to get a word. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to like, put the pieces together, right? So at that time, okay, so I'm going to the meetings in the jail. So then they had a 28-day drug program, right? And out of all those people in that jail, everybody signed up, but nobody went but me. So when the lady came, the addiction counselor, she was like, well, Connie, she said, it's just me and you. So, she said, I'm gonna come 3 times a week. She said, and we could talk. And she let me know what her credentials was. And basically, she was like my personal therapist. We started talking about some stuff. That's why once I got over to where Mr. James was at, I was well, like in my process for real, because I didn't have therapy. This lady was meeting with me 3 times a week for like 7-8 months straight. I started like helping her run the group, you know what I'm saying? Once, out recruiting in population, right? Like, man, y'all need to come down there, we be doing this, that, that, and, try and get a little group together. But that's where, I really started getting down to like, because she would ask me stuff like, what's your earliest childhood memory? And I'm thinking, and I can remember I was like in kindergarten, right? And I was sitting in a circle on the floor with other kids. And I remember me, sitting there doing my thing, because we were dancing to the little music, but we sitting in Indian style. And I was a little chubby little thing, so I'm doing my thing, but I'm looking over there at the girls, with the long hair. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the one with the light skin, and I'm liking everything about them, right? And nothing about Connie, right? And I can remember that. And that's where the low self-esteem first set in. You know what I'm saying? Whereas though I didn't like me, I liked it all about them. I liked it everything about them. So at that point, when I told her what the scenario was, she was like, got me to looking at some stuff, right? Like seeing how all this was created. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't wake up just being a dope fiend. I was a dope fiend waiting to happen, right? Because I had went through so much, you know what I'm saying? From low self-esteem to people pleasing, and she showed me how to connect the dots. Okay, it started off, you ain't like, yourself in your skin, right? And then I would still change out my mother purse to buy candy so I can get to all the kids in my class. That was like 3rd, 4th grade, you know what I'm saying? Again, people pleasing, you know what I'm saying? And from that to, things just start escalating. Time I get 12, my parents, they breaking up. My daddy, he's out the house now. I'm a daddy girl. You know what I'm saying? That affected me. I had no idea, So once I really started talking with somebody, connecting them dots, I was on my way, okay? So now I'm over PG County. I'm getting all the therapy, I can get, doing the most, eating a lot of chicken, okay? So now, go to court. Now my process behind the wall, right? It wasn't like nobody else's. I sat over in PG County for 18 months, right? On a VOP, okay? Who does that? That's like out fighting a murder, you know what I'm saying? Like, people like, why are you still here? Like, I'm like, and during the time, my lawyer that I paid my good money for, I would pay him as I'm in the street breaking law, I keep the lawyer on retainer, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna need him, right? You know what I'm saying? So as I'm going through my process, my lawyer, he caught he had cancer, okay? So he goes in the hospital and he had to stay for a while. They postponed, you know, the court date. I'm like, he was out for like 5 months. Then get back in, going back to court, the courthouse floods, okay? Now I said, hey, now, okay, when the courthouse flood, right, I was thinking, right, this might be a good thing, right? I said they probably washed that shit right on the way. But you know, of course, everybody else stuff got washed up for mine because they were still looking for mine, you know. So, okay, all right, courthouse flood, Parker gets sick. I said, okay, get another court date, go down there, get all the way down to transport. Okay, this day my writ ain't there. Okay, I said, what? Now the writ ain't there. It was like thing after thing after thing. And the end result was Parker at the end had another court date. He went to court. I got 10 years and he died. Okay. So now can't put in a modification. I done paid my money. He a one-man show. So now I'm stuck with 10 years, okay, of hard time, okay? Because baby, I ain't that girl, okay? I usually like check out the guidelines, you know what I'm saying? So okay, tough skin, okay, 18 months a year. I check it out, you know, before I jump out there. But this here, I wasn't looking for this 10 years. So I get the 10 years, my lawyer, he died, I get down the cut. Oh my God. When I'm down there, you know, in the penitentiary, you know what I'm saying? And I keep on saying penitentiary. Mr. James strip off that. It really wasn't no penitentiary. It was like a fat girl, you know, like rehab. That's all it was. Cause you know, they ain't want to fight when nobody put no shanks in nobody. You know, you ate good, mind your benders, you know what I'm saying? So I'm down there and I'm like, man, this is what it is, 10 years. So I couldn't see my way out. All right, let me just put that out there. You know how sometimes, you know, if you get a little time, 18 months, you're like, all right, now with good conduct, you know, I can get this off. I probably go for parole this day. I couldn't even see that. I couldn't even see parole because them people was tripping. They wanted like half my tail. And for real, I still had warrants, okay? So this was just starting my journey off, 10 years, okay? And I still got to see Anne Arundel County, Montgomery County, and Hinesville, okay? So, all right, I started off, I get in there and I'm in like processing down the cut and the girl said they got a CDA meeting coming. And I'm like, CDA? I'm like, what's that? She was like, chemical dependency. She said, it's like a, you know, NA meeting. And I'm like, oh yeah. I said, okay, you know, anything, you know, to get me out my cell, but I'm gonna see what these people talking about. So when I get there, that was like my first meeting down the cut. And it was kind of, you know, refreshing, you know, to hear about, you know, people being clean, staying clean, and then coming back, you know, in the prison, right, to bring that message, you know, of hope, right? And I said, okay, so I started going to CDA regularly. And then they had AA. AA was there, good and faithful every Sunday. And then I started going to AA. And AA kind of helped me, you know, build a foundation because, you know, I felt like if I could stay away from that first drink, you know, I can stay away from that next drug. And alcohol, you know, I didn't feel like I was like a big alcoholic, but I look at the patterns in my life, right? That's how I always start off. I start off popping some bottles. And before you know, I'm going to pop a pill. And before you know, I'm sniffing some dope. It's always the same. So I figured, you know, I'm going to start off, you know, let me see if I can not pop no bottles, right? So I'm doing the AA thing, right? And it was good. But I always had like that burning desire in me for NA, right? Because it was a lot of y'all in there, right? You know, just like me, you know what I'm saying? And they could like guide me through and, you know, what's this thing about step work? You know what I'm saying? What is it really? You know what I'm saying? What they say, you got to do the work, right? and I didn't know what the work was, right? I thought when they said do the work, I thought that was just something cute that they say, you know, in the meeting. Like, girl, did you do some work? I'm like, yeah, girl, I did that work, right? I thought, you know what I'm saying? I had no idea about, you know, what the work is and how it's going to help me in my life with everyday living, right? I had no idea, right? So, okay, I'm starting my journey behind a wall, okay? Now, I told you they had CDA there, they had AA there. They had an NA meeting come in there, like the first 6 or so months I was there, they had no NA meetings. But I knew some of the people in the rooms, right? And I was like, wow, let me see if we can get a meeting in here. So some kind of way I talked to one of the ladies and they had a meeting come in to the Women Cut on Saturdays once a month. They have a Saturday meeting once a month. And you would think, you know, because it's like 1,000 women down at that penitentiary, that women's prison. Okay, let me I don't cut that out because I keep playing with that shit. But it's about 1,000 women down there, and maybe 5, 10, you know, would show up, and I would go. I would go to the meeting, you know, see what's going on, and then I was like, damn, you know, I really wish that we, you know, could have like regular meetings. So I had the idea, the thought was there. Then I started taking a group called Toastmaster. Toastmaster is an international gavel club, you know what I'm saying? And you can like do public speaking, you know, get up there and do your thing, and you know, you don't be all nervous and stuff. And I knew at that point that I would be doing a lot of meetings. So I said, I'm gonna take on this Toastmaster so that way it can help me, you know, not come across as being retarded, you know, when I'm doing these meetings, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's retarded. So started taking Toastmasters. Now, Toastmasters was the warden's program. She brought Toastmasters into the prison, right? So the warden would be there. So the warden would be in the Toastmaster, but you can't speak to her. You can't say nothing to her. You know, the warden, you know what I'm saying? And she's there as the Toastmaster, but you can't really say nothing to her. So she heard a speech. She was there for I think like my 4th speech. And my 4th speech was entitled, I Want to Live. That was the name of the speech. And the reason why I did this speech was because it was a lot of girls, right? They're coming back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I'm talking to the one girl, and I know she had just left like 2 weeks ago. And I'm like, damn. I'm like, yo, what did you do back in here? She's like, girl, please. They dropped my ass off down in Lexington Market and gave me $50. And she was like, man, I ain't even never make it home. She was like, I got, well, you remember Tyrone? I was like, yeah, man, I got with him and slept on his couch. And, you know, it was like, no hope. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, we got to do better. You know what I'm saying? So that laid on my heart because you see them come back through the door and they beat down. You know what I'm saying? So, and just that quick. So that's why I did the speech called I Want to Live, right? And I said, why we can't have like NA meetings, NA conventions or retreats or things like that so we can meet somebody that's in recovery and can help us along the way once we get out. You know what I'm saying? I said, why we gotta get dropped off down at Lexington Market with $50 and no drinks? And I just went on and on and on with this speech. So the warden, she was listening, right? So after I did the speech, she was like, who is that lady over there? And they were like, that's Consuela Green. So they asked me, they said, the warden want to speak to you. And I said, well, wait a minute, you know, bitch, I got a little nervous, you know what I'm saying? Because I do the mostest, okay? I was like, I ain't know some more warts than dropped on me, or I didn't know where it happened. But it was the best thing that ever could have happened to me because when I spoke with her, she said, I heard everything you said. She said, if you could put it together, she said, I'm gonna support you 100%. And I was like, really? She said, yeah, everything you said. And I said, wow. I ran back down that cell, got in my cell, and I locked in, and I just wrote this whole proposal up, right? It was like, who? All the women in prison. Where? In the gym. What? And they convinced. I did it like that, and I started thinking about who could participate. And Mr. James, you know, my man, Mr. Rico, you know, let him rest in peace. He came down there, and at the time, like I said, I put the proposal together, and did the first ever NA convention for women down in the prison while I was there. That was like a whole blessing, right? It was like the doors just like flew open. Rico came, my sponsor at the time, Joyce, which is, you know, Mr. James hooked me up with Joyce, right? And she really helped me through my process. And I'm gonna talk more about her. She came and I'm talking to her on the phone, and she was like, what? We gonna do a convention? She was like, okay, well, I'm gonna get this person and I'm gonna bring this person here. She orchestrated, wait a minute, miss. I said, this is my program, okay? I want you to get a few people, but don't be trying to run it, you know what I'm saying? And she died laughing. She was like, girl, she was like, the sponsor system, she said, they mad at you, right? I said, why? She said, that's all I be talking about. Yeah, my sponsor down there, down the cut, you know, she doing more step work than y'all. She doing this, she doing that, right? But she was awesome. And so we get the guy, we do the first convention for the women. And like I said, Rico, when he came down there, he up there dancing with the warden, and oh, he was an excellent speaker. He just made you feel real good. And it was him, Joyce, and Joyce, she brought her sponsor too. And I had like 6 speakers in total. And my Montgomery County family, my DC family, they like stood around me, Rico and everything. They just like hugged me. They were like, man, when you get out of here, we got you. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget about us. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be right there. And I was like, okay. And it just felt so good. You know what I'm saying? Like people loving on me that didn't really even know me. You know what I'm saying? I spoke to Rico on the phone maybe once or twice. Me and Joyce, we were just really getting acclimated, you know, as her being my sponsor. But, you know, it was like an awesome feeling. So, okay, we have the NA convention, right? That went down. So then I said, okay, because again, I got a lot of time on my hand, okay? So I wrote the warden again. I asked if we could start a group called Healing Starts Now, right? Now what we were doing, we're in prison, right? But we are going to get out one day. So during that time, I said, we'll have a little group. And what we'll do is, I will write down like, what county are you from? And they'd be like, you know, Montgomery County, PG County, wherever county from. And I would get with the addiction counselor and we'll go online and we would try to find like treatment centers, recovery houses, you know, things like that for the ladies, you know, to go to once they leave prison. So I started doing that. And that was good because some people really had changed their mind. You know, they didn't want to go back home, you know, because they knew what was happening there. You know, some people house, you know, everybody in there getting high, you know, they in there turned up, you know what I'm saying, going back to the no good boyfriend, you know what I'm saying? So people have started kind of changing their mind. So that was really good. So then I wrote another proposal, right? Because you already know I do the most. And I asked her if we could have NA meetings, right? And each part, you know, the building, they have A building, they have B building, they have 192, A, B, and D wing. And on each part, on each wing, is like 250, you know, or more. And I asked her if we can do meetings, and I will bring the literature. Like A wing would be Monday, B wing would be Tuesday, C wing, you know, I was doing it like that, A building on Saturday. And she was like, you know, well, who going, you know, carry this message? I told her I would. So I went ahead, got the literature together, and I started going to each one of the wings. And, you know, the officers, they look and they like, man, this shit ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially 192 building, you talking about something hood. Baby, they down there, they ghetto and shit. They do the absolute most down 192 building. Rowdy, loud, carrying on. And I would go down there and I'd be like, hey, my name is Connie and I'm an addict. And they look, hey, Connie. And then before you know it, it get quiet. And that's very rare. And and they, it's anonymous, right? But we're in jail. You got to have the police, standing outside the gate. They wouldn't be like directly in the rec room, but they right there and they hearing like everything. So I usually would start off, the meeting, like, we have topic meetings, right? We went through a lot of different meetings, but those topic meetings were like the best because I would grab their attention by just saying, when I look around this room, I don't see like a whole lot of crooks for real. And then I said, wait a minute, there's a couple crooks in this bitch, you know what I'm saying? Cause y'all ass is shady, you know what I'm saying? Let me take that back. But what I do see, I see a lot of pain, man, in here, man. A lot of people that did some stuff with us. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people that stomped on us, molested us, and we wasn't out in the street committing crimes because we crooks. Man, we were just trying to get one more. And this was the end result of it. You know what I'm saying? We had to do some things and, been in some places we really ain't want to be in. And, you would just see the people, look at me and, can relate. And the tears, that I've shed, with the people because, I'm like you too, man, and they would ask me like, Connie, what changed your mind, right? I said, man, I just want better for myself, yo. Like, we ain't gotta wake up like this, you know what I'm saying? Worrying about where we gonna get one more from, who we gotta kill, steal, lie, manipulate, ill. Man, I'm done with it, man. I don't wanna live like that no more, man. And that shit brings me to jail, yo. When I use, man, I lose, and I lose everything. I lose who Connie is. I lose on my children, my spirit, all this sunny disposition and all this, fat and fineness, all that shit go out the window. Okay, it be gone. Ain't nothing funny, ain't nothing moving but the money. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I was living my life out there. And I was sharing with the ladies and they could relate. So again, A helps B helps A the most the whole time, man. I'm going to every part of the prison. And I heard the guy say, Jonathan said he would be going down the compound, whatever. They wouldn't say anything to him. That's how I was in the prison. I could walk around, especially on chicken day, okay? Because chicken day, I will be out all day long, you know what I'm saying? Because I be trying to double clutch and get it in, you know what I'm saying? But they didn't bother me, you know what I'm saying? The officers, they ain't run down on me. They wasn't rolling up on me, because I carried myself, with dignity and respect, and I'm gonna give it, and you're gonna give it to me in return. And the officers, they knew what Connie is about. You know what I'm saying? The only thing you're gonna get me on, yeah, I might smuggle some chicken. Okay, they know that. But far as trying to use some drugs or trying to get some hooch or trying to, put a shank in somebody, all that foolishness, they know she ain't with none of that. And most of the officers will be into the meetings as, as I'm giving the meeting, right? And I leave out there and they, can I give you a hug? And I'm like, damn, this the police asking, can they hug me? They would say stuff like, oh my God, Connie, like, I heard your meeting. I sat in there. Oh my God, like, man, God is good. And you know what I'm saying? The feedback that I would get, not just from, the inmates, the officers, you know what I'm saying? Because just because you got that outfit on and that badge or whatever, oh, bitch, you go through shit too. You know what I'm saying? It might not be you're locked up because, again, the only difference between me and you, I got caught. That's the only difference. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of them struggling with addiction. You know what I'm saying? So you never know, God is always in the midst. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, here it is, the officer come in and get more out of meeting than the person that's sitting right there because they're going through I'm ready to start going to meetings, next. I'll be like, what? God is so awesome. You know what I'm saying? Because they heard something. You know what I'm saying? And again, A helps B help A the most. I'm still creating a strong foundation, for myself, going around, doing the different meetings, So, okay, things looking all right for me. Now, keep in mind, I still got that 10 years, okay? And I'm writing, as I'm going through, I'm writing. I'm writing for modification. I'm writing for a drug program. I'm writing for anything that will get me up out of here, okay? Whatever y'all say, I'm gonna do it, you know what I'm saying? Man, every letter, denied, 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 denied. But again, until you're entirely ready. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was, but I really wasn't entirely ready, right? Because now I gotta go over to Montgomery County because I still got some wants over there. Yeah, wants with an S, okay? Get over to Montgomery County, and one of my girls, she told me, she said, Connie, when you get over to Mo County, they got this jazz program. Now I heard about the jazz program, being in the bullpen, you know, at PG County. I would see the girls come over there and they had a different outfit on. I was like, where you from? Oh, I'm from Mo County. And I was like, oh yeah. And they were always heard different things about this jazz program, jail addiction services, right? So I'm like, all right. So my partner said, she said, when you get over there, you see Mr. James, right? He gonna get you hooked up. You're gonna be in the program. I'm telling you, kind of program is awesome and this, that, and that. And I'm like, yeah, all right, right. So at the time, I'm just going over there on a rent, meaning that I'm only gonna have to stay there for like a day or two. But again, Dauphin County kicked in. I said, you know what? Let me see if I can ease over there, because they was going to hold me up there in that holding cell for like 30 days or something, right? So when the staff changed, I asked them, I said, why I've been in here this long, and why, you know, I can't go to Clarksburg, and before you know it, they put me on the bus and I'm on my way down there. And I was like, yes, right? And I already heard the food was off the chain, right? So I couldn't wait to get down there. So I get down there, I see Mr. James, man, and all the ladies that was in there, they were saying, they were like, oh, you going to the jazz program? Oh, you ain't gonna be able to get in there because, you know, it's a long waiting list and this, that, and the other. And I remember Mr. James, come on, I knock on, hey, yeah, up here. And he came up there, he got him to call me down there, and we had like the interview. I was over there in like 2.3 seconds. Like the next day I was up in the program, okay? So I'm up in the program and everything, and I don't want to go to jail, and I'm not going back to jail, but Montgomery County is a lovely establishment, okay? The food is on flake, you know what I'm saying? They got some good counseling and shit, so if you decide to do something, take it over to Mo County, okay? And I'm not going to, encourage it or endorse it, but I'm just saying. So I get over there and I meet with Mr. James, right? And he too, he from Baltimore, you know what I'm saying? So I supposed to go down there to speak to him on, like a little assessment. And we talk so long, man. Here come the people talking something, it's lunchtime and you gotta go. And I'm like, oh man, because we could relate to so much. And it was like a little piece of home, you know what I'm saying? He naming some places and some meetings and things like that. And, here's a brother in recovery, from my neck of the woods, you know what I'm saying? And I just grabbed on to Mr. James and I ain't never let him go, okay? I went to jail, did my little time over there. And when I got out, before I left, he was like, if you continue, to write me and, just stay in touch, let me know what's going on with you. He was like, you'll always be in my program. And I was like, oh, okay. And sure enough, I left there and I stayed in touch with Mr. James. It was about a year, 2 years that I wrote him every month. I called every other week. I didn't want to completely blow a spot up, you know what I'm saying? But I wanted to, get him on the phone sometime. And Mr. James, right, he was going to all kinds of conventions and he would send me literature and all kinds of stuff. And that was how I was able to get my sponsor, right? Because he going all over the place. So I said, well, I'm in here, you know what I'm saying? I can't do it, right? But while you're out there, put my name out there, right? And sure enough, he put my name out there and said, because I brought all the books. And they said, the worst way to do step work is by yourself, you know what I'm saying? I done tried that, you know what I'm saying? So I got with Joyce and we started, doing step work, through the mail, right? And, you know, it was all right. You know what I'm saying? First 1, 2, and 3, you know, we doing it through the mail. I write a whole bunch of stuff, stacks of paper. She write back. And, you know, again, you know, that's hard, man. When you free, like on the street and you got jobs and stuff like that. And then keep up with somebody in jail and I'm sending home letters because, you know, I ain't got nothing but hard time to do. So I'm sending packets to the house. I know she's like, God damn, this girl's getting on somebody's last nerve. But she was reading it. She was reading it. She was, you know, going over things with me. And then we started like talking on the phone, like at least 2, 3 times a week. But the phone calls wasn't up but like 15 minutes a call. So I'm talking to her on the phone. And then I got to my step 4 work. Now we know that step 4 work, right, is like you gotta write out, you know, a whole lot of stuff, right? And that's kind of hard to try to get that in on a 15-minute call. So again, took it to the pen and paper. I wrote the warden and I asked her if we could have sponsee visits, right? So when you get to your step 4 work, could we bring like our step working guide up there and have our sponsor there and not have it count against us as our, you know, regular visit? And sure enough, she went and approved that. And that's when I did my first step 4 work in the prison. Police right there, step working guide, getting it in. You know what I'm saying? And that really helped me out a whole lot. And she changed the policy. This is what it is. It's in black and white now. Like when you doing your step 4 work, you know, this is what it is. And I continue right now to bring the NA convention and for the ladies, like a lot of things that that I was afforded the opportunity to do, like, you know, go to all those meetings, and I'm Toastmaster president, and all those things was really helping me get a strong, you know, foundation, because in the midst of that, I'm meeting a lot of people, you know, from everywhere, from AA, from CDA. And when I got out, man, trust me, everybody helped me. Everybody, see all this right here? Yeah, it took a lot. It took a village, y'all, to help me out, man, from everywhere. I stayed in touch, you know, with Mr. James. You know, I was on his show. You know, I was like, I'm a star, y'all. Then I called up everybody, like, I'm gonna be on TV, bitch, right? I done told everybody. I look. I said I got my CDs and everything. You know, letting people know I'm on TV. I did a CDA convention over in Rehoboth Beach. And I got my CD, you know, I was the second keynote speaker, you know, I said Canal, so I was up in there with that. And, you know, I just been meeting a lot of people, staying in the process, and it's getting better. You know what I'm saying? It gets greater later, you know what I'm saying? I understand that. I thank God for everything, because I don't know if you know, like I talk your ass, you know, to death, you know what I'm saying? And I got plenty more to say, but I just want everybody to know that recovery around behind the wall, right? That started my foundation, right? That really started because I felt like if I can't do it here, when I get home, yo, I ain't gonna have a shot. And you could trust and believe, you know, they got dope in prison, they got Suboxone, they got everything you want, you know what I'm saying? And just like on the outside, right, people placing things, you know what I'm saying? I knew not to go on Cafeteria 1 because that's where the jump off at. So I go to Cafeteria 2, same thing in the street. I ain't forgot where the cop at, I know who got it, you know what I'm saying? I might not know the players now because, you know, I've been out the game for a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But I still not a cop, and I know where Park Heights is at. You know what I'm saying? So if I want to get it in, you know what I'm saying? But I tried to take it one day at a time. And that's in everything that I do, right? I thank God for everything that he have done for me. And I pray every day and I pray every night. You know, thank you, God, keep me clean one more day. God, wow, this journey has been awesome. And I'm just scratching the surface, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, it's more to be revealed. And I learn that every day. Um, as Mr. James know, and everybody else, well, y'all might not know, I'm a registered peer supervisor at John Hopkins Bayview. Yeah, pull the rope, yeah. And I'm also a certified peer, and you know, the sky's the limit. You know what I'm saying? Mr. J, I just started school for the fall semester. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm going to school for addiction counseling. To, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I love to talk and I facilitate a lot of groups, and, you know, why not, you know, get paid for it? You know what I'm saying? Get that paper. And the process, I haven't been to school, shucks. I'm 46 now, you know, ripe old 46. Okay, my birthday was the other day. Now, I haven't been to school since I was 17, you know what I'm saying? So it was some fear involved, right? And I'm like, you know, I'm not gonna be able to do this, you know. And again, I pray, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, God, you know my needs, wants, and desires, because I be playing with God too, right? And I just like, you know, just help me in this journey. And that's why I do, I take it one day at a time. I'm just taking 2 classes right now, fundamentals of addiction, and there's another, okay, great job, look, gotta go, okay, pass the bucket, okay, because I'm doing the moves, great job, look. Okay, so now the people that gave me the shut it down little talk. Oh, don't shut it down? Okay, I can put it out there, okay. So yes, I'm starting school now, and this apartment, as you can see, I don't have anything out here because I'm getting ready to move. I'm moving downstairs to a 2-bedroom now. The children, you know, they're getting ready to come. You know, my set of twins, Brandon and Brianna, yes, the highlight of my life. I've been able to be consistent with them. You know, I was just with them. You know, I was telling Tony, like, you gonna be on the car? Oh, I'm gonna be there. These kids got me out the mall, one pulling me this way, one pulling that way. But, you know, again, one of the things that I'm grateful for, you know, because I'm clean now, you know what I'm saying? I'm consistent. I do what I say I'm gonna do. I'm there, you know what I'm saying? I could be available, you know, to my friends, the family, you know, the mother, you know, all this because I'm taking it one day at a time. I ask God to help me, and I'm clean and sober, man. And that right there, I know all things are possible as long as I just continue, you know, to just keep moving forward. You know what I'm saying? And it feels good. It feels really good, you know, when my mother can call on me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm there. You know what I'm saying? I could do things. Well, Kanye just brought me a new stove. I keep saying, boy, this girl, she just be buying me. Look ahead. I'm making some amends. You know what I'm saying? I had to, you know, write that list out, right? And I can remember one time, I asked my mother for some money, and she told me, she was like, look, I just gave you a credit card for, you know, for gas, right? And I was like, man, I need gas. She was like, man, done. I said, okay, you ain't gotta give it to me. She went on upstairs. I went on top of her cabinet and wrote her checks out. I wrote, it was like $300, but I still wrote her checks and cashed them. And, you know, no, of course, you know, those checks gonna come back to the house, right? Man, she got them checks back, and boy, that thing hurt me to my heart. I'm like, my mom said, yeah, your Aunt Connie, she's a thief. You know, she's a crook. You know, she stole my money and stayed here during my whole addiction. I never forgot about it. So again, doing that step work, right? Just want to become a better person. You just don't say, oh, I ain't gonna do that no more. You know, sorry, mom, I ain't gonna do that no more. No, you gotta make them amends. So, and they also say that he's gonna create a situation, right, for you to be able to make that amend as soon as time is right. And sure enough, you know, time was right. My mama called me, look, you think I could borrow, look, $200 because, you know, I need to get something done with the car, whatever. And I'm like, all right. So I hung up. I'm like, shit. I said, she always call and ask for some money. So while I'm thinking this way, I'm doing my step work. Okay. And she's on the amends list, right? And I was like, like, okay, you got me. So I go over her house next day. I said, all right, I go when I get off from work. So I go over there and I give her $300, and she said, she was like, what? She was like, look, I'm gonna pay your money back. And I said, Mom, listen. I said, do you remember a time when I had wrote them checks out and she was like, yeah. She said, I ain't want to say nothing about that. She said, but your ass was a damn thief. And I ain't never forgot about it. But she had been holding it all this time because she was like, my daughter doing good. And, you know, I ain't going to say nothing, you know, to make her feel no kind of way. But she ain't forgot nothing. You know what I'm saying? So sure enough, I said, you know, I'm doing my step work, right? And I said, and you're on my men's list. And I said, first, I want to say, you know, I'm sorry. You know, I apologize for what I did, right? I said, Mom, I never want to steal from you. And you know, that wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? What that drug, you know, made me do. And I had to explain myself and let her know, you know, I'm sorry, you know, and, you know, here's your money. She was like, wait a minute, I'll be back. She said she went up in the kitchen. She was like, I can't believe. She said, oh, she changed for real, right? I gotta go down the street and tell her that you done, boy, I tell you right now. So it makes me feel good, you know, when I'm able to do anything, you know, for my mother, for the kids, my kids' grandmother, you know, anybody that seen me when I was going through, who you know, who that used to be. I don't forget where I come from. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm only doing what I'm doing, and I'm only here from the grace of God. You know what I'm saying? He showed some grace to me. You know what I'm saying? I never thought that things could be this all right. I don't feel like I have arrived, but I feel like I can breathe, you know, family. And it all started from behind the wall. And with all that being said, good night. So thank y'all for letting me share.
Thank you.
You are so amazing and so
Amazing.
inspirational.
Mm.
Does anyone want to say anything? We have like about 8 minutes before the next speaker starts. Anybody want to? James, you got your hand out?
And you know I got my hand up. That's my girl, Connie.
Hey, Mr. James.
Look, I brag about Connie everywhere I go, right?
Wow.
Especially when I go, you know, to prisons. You know, I be telling the guys and the girls, say, look, Connie wrote me every month for 2 years, right? So y'all don't be telling me, you know, because they go out and they don't call. They like, I'm Mr. James, I'm gonna be in your pocket, right? And then when they leave, I don't hear from them, right? So I always use Connie as an example. If you do the right thing, things are gonna work out. You know,
Yes.
you made parole. I talked to the lady, Miss Ogle, on the phone. Me and Connie was talking to the parole commission, hitting them from both sides, right? She was hitting them from down there. I was saying like, yeah, she's good. You know, you should let her out. You know, and she did the right thing when she got out. Even at times, see, that's the thing, Connie, you worked the program and you were open-minded. You did what you were supposed to do. You took advice from others, suggestions. Because even when things were tough on you, when people tried to take advantage of you in recovery, you still held fast to the principles and you weathered the storm and you got paid at the end. Now you're a supervisor.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? So you keep moving up by, you know, doing what the program says do. You know, you help others.
Yeah.
And you practice spiritual principles, you know, and you honest. You know, I hear so much honesty, you know, the whole time. When you open your mouth, honesty comes out, and humor too. You know, so it's always a joy to see you and hear from you. And I use your clip. Matter of fact, it's a girl watching now. This just got out of jazz, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I showed her all my. I said I showed her like 4 or 5 people on my TV show and said, look at these people's program on the show and tell me which one you like the most. And she picked out you.
Wow.
She said your story had more impact on her than any other story on my shows, right?
Wow.
So So you have an impact on people, and you know it's a good impact. So you know we're blessed to have you. I'm blessed to have you in my life.
Wow.
You know, thanks for letting me share.
All right. There was somebody from ARCC that ETC that wanted to speak. Did you want to speak, or you just sitting there at the camera? Okay. Does anyone else want to say anything?
I do.
Go ahead, Trisha. You're muted.
Oh, sorry. I don't have any questions or anything, but I just was blown away. Literally blown away. Your experience, strength, and hope. Just the whole process of you getting the convention started in the penitentiary gave me so much hope. You know, like I have no excuses. Like I should not. I have no excuses, you know, and the fact that you were helping so many people so early on in your recovery makes me feel like I should be doing a lot more, you know, but I'm just so grateful you came out, and I really appreciate your story. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Our raffle ends in 4 minutes. So if you're going to enter the raffle, I would suggest you do it now. But next we have Carlton.
Hey, it's been good these last 3 speakers I heard. Because I work at nighttime, so I've been sleeping most of the day, and I got to leave now shortly. But with the speakers I hear, and with you guys, it's why I love you guys. The main theme I always see is others. And tonight, when I go to work, Terry and Andre is going to say to me, did you talk to Bundy today? Did you talk to James today? How they doing? And so I tell them, man, I text them today, man, I talked to them today, but I really appreciate this, having people around me who care about others. A lot of people sober, but a lot of people really don't invest their lives into other people's lives. And so I think I'm through right now, but that's what I want to share. Thank you, LaTanya.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Carlton. Thank you, Carlton. We're going to get together.
Got to get ready to go to work, man.
Yes, sir. We'll get together, man. Thank you.
Yeah, Colin.
Well,
I love you, man. I love you, man. Take care now, all right?
Yes, sir, man. Tell them guys to say hello.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye, Carlton.
Uh-huh.
I just want to say, Consuela, I love you.
That girl was tight.
Amazing, powerful example. You like Trisha was saying, you know, listening to your story takes away all excuses, man. You know, doesn't matter how far you got to come up. It's always possible, and you have come up in an amazing way where, you know, it didn't even look like, you know, you was gonna be able to dig out that hole, girl, and you did it. You know, and I've watched you in your strength and in your recovery, and also, you know, in losing your dad earlier this year, right? Amazing power of example. And I'm just really proud to say that I know you. So thank you for supporting us, sweetie.
Thank you, Tanya.
You're welcome, babe.
I know you and Bunny, that power couple. You know what I'm saying? Man, y'all is awesome. It's like when I think about my Montgomery County family, it'd be like, where Bunny and Latonya at? James, you know what I'm saying? My girl Linda, we just went to Ocean City like, what, 2 weeks ago? And Michelle, Lisa, Linda, and Michelle went down to Ocean City. Okay. And they but stayed in the room. I was on the boardwalk. All right, I'm done.
All right, well, thank you. Let's give Consuela a round of applause. She was amazing as usual.